If you're like me and you have a notebook for everything, I'm going to show you how to easily condense all of your lists into one easy journal, the bullet journal. Okay, so for my bullet journal, I am using just a normal moleskin lined journal, and I really like the moleskin. I like the paper quality. I like that it has the binder around it so that the papers don't fall out if I'm using any, and I'm going to show you how I set mine up. It's a little different than the normal setup. Okay, so the first page is an index page, and that is where you will have your coordinating lists and to-do lists and dates and calendars with the page number. And I will explain that more as I show you the rest of the setup. So then on the next page is where you have your spread. Now each spread, which is 2 pages, is set up like this. So in the beginning of your bullet journal, you'll always have your month first. So I started this in March, obviously, and you're going to number the days and the coordinating days of the week. So this is for events and larger things that you might need to go to. Then the next spread is your monthly list. Now you don't have to do this, but I like to kind of spread out everything so that I know what I need to do, and then I can use this for my dailies as well. So then, as you can see down here, they have page numbers, so page 2 and 3. So when you go back to your index, March is going to be page 2, starting on page 2, and because I haven't finished March yet, I haven't filled in all the days because I'm still adding on days, and I'll just go back and do it later, but it'll be 2 through how many pages I used. So my next pages are my daily tasks, and as you can see, I have March 16th all the way through the 22nd here. And each little task or thing that I've written down has a symbol, and I'm going to go over my symbols in just a moment. But basically, the idea behind this is that every day, this is like a brain dump. So you put anything that you have to do, somewhere you have to go, something you want to look up or buy in this journal, and it gets a coordinating symbol. Then once you've finished it, it gets a mark, and if it's not relevant anymore, it gets crossed out like it is here. And then if it is migrating to another day, you put an arrow. So just a close-up here of the symbols, you can see that the boxes that have a check mark mean that they were completed, and if they had an arrow, that means that it got migrated to another day. It's also a good way of journaling what you're doing on specific days, whereas with my personal planner, I felt like I couldn't look back and say, okay, what did I do today? And this really does kind of help. Then we come to the first collection page. Now this again is whatever kind of list you need to make. I'm infamous for having tons of notebooks and sticky notes and things everywhere, and then I'm always trying to find what I'm trying to remember, and I can't find it. So here I just have a list of music that I want to buy, and it is on page 11. So if I refer back to my index, I would put music, page 11. So that's how that works. I have breakfast ideas. Let's see what else I have in here. Some things I want to order online, some events I'm planning, and I knew that I was going to need more pages. Now, I don't recommend doing this for your calendar setup, like trying to estimate how many pages you're going to need for these types of pages. Don't do that. If you need more pages for the month, just, if it's after a list, that's okay. But for this specific one, I knew I was going to need more pages, so I just left 2. Things that I'm selling on eBay, and then this is the last page, so I'll continue to number it and go through it like that. Now I've seen some videos where they actually do the life mapping indexing, where you have a different color on the outside of your margins, and that way when you flip through it like this, you can see the colors. So I might end up doing that. So here is my special part of my bullet journal. This is my task map. So this is my task key, and it was really helpful, especially in the beginning when I was starting and I was trying to remember things, that when I have something and I don't remember exactly what the symbol is for, I have a little flip chart, and I just used some Project Life paper and cards and glued it to the back of my moleskin. And what's nice about this is I might add another one if I decide to do the life mapping color code, because then I would just have the color code and what it means on there. So as you can see here, I'll go over my tasks. So like I said, the tasks are a box. Completed tasks have a check. Then you have notes, events, priorities are little stars, lookup is an eyeball. If you have an idea, it's inspiration. When you need to migrate a task to another day, you get an arrow. If it's irrelevant, you can do a line through it, and then if you need to buy something, it's a $sign. So these are the symbols I'm using right now. I haven't found that I'm going to need any more symbols. I think if you find yourself having too many symbols, that means that you need to really categorize those things into lists. Like I could have had like a music note or something to represent music and have it just on, you know, on these kind of pages. Like I could have put in the music I wanted to buy on here and symbolize it with a music note, but I think it would become too much to keep track of, so those kinds of things are good to have their own pages for. Another quick note about the moleskin that I really like is the back have a folder. So if you need coupons in there, receipts, just, you know, different things that you would need to take with you, it's pretty handy. And like I said, you get the little closure. And before I finish this video, I want to show you my current Filofax and kind of why I've been so frustrated with it, because most of my days are very task oriented, not so much event oriented. So I tried the DIY fish life mapping and it just, I don't know, it didn't work. I didn't have the full life mapping system, and I just had like the spreads, and it just, I don't know, it really didn't work for me. So I think if I had more events to do and I was really managing my own house, I think it would be a different story. But anyway, so yeah, I have the daily pages, and they're just, again, I think if I had more events, it would be helpful for me, because this, I don't know, I can't migrate tasks and it's just not really working out for me. I have changed my setup in the back here a little bit, and I will have a video on that very soon. So that was my bullet journal setup. I love watching these kind of videos. If you guys do anything different with yours, I would love to see it. And yeah, like this video and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.